オズ先輩、また何をやらかしたのですか？
おい、ざらけのげ！オズ！こいつも仲間か。いや、私はオズと関係ない。やめろ！
あの運命の時計台前でテニスサークルキューピットを選んだことへの後悔の念は振り払えない。あの時他のサークルを選んでいれば私はもっと別の2年間を送っていただろう。幻の手法と言われるバラ色のキャンパスライフを手に握っていたかもしれない。
What's going on, guys? It's Sam from Anime 3 and I'm going to speak to you on why the Tatami Galaxy is almost perfect. You've probably heard the expression perfection doesn't exist, which is true, but perfection can almost be raw if its flaws are extremely minimal. Of course, what's nearly perfect to you or me could mean completely different things. The only way I can approach this is to have an objective standpoint and ask the question, does this work for what it is trying to achieve? An example of this can go back to Neon Genesis, arguably one of the greatest animes of all time, but also one of the most mixed reviewed animes of all time. I like Neon Genesis. Although I didn't care for its concept on the creation of man and its Christian influenced themes and aesthetic, and if that wasn't a main concept for the anime, I would have liked it a lot more. But I asked myself, does this work for what it is trying to achieve? And it did. Regardless of my personal views, I can agree it is one of the greatest animes of all time. The Tatami Galaxy follows the story of the protagonist, Watashi, a third-year university student who wasted 2 whole years of uni being lazy, antisocial, and interrupting of other people's happiness.
そうとも我はアホなり。君たちくれぐれも目には注意するように。
After an encounter with the demigod Higuchi, Watashi decides to live his life to the fullest, exploring all uni experiences he didn't before, and professing his love to the unsociable Akashi. Watashi joins all the social clubs at uni, trying to find who he is, and each time things seem to be going well, he fails. Watashi's friend Ozu is a similar character that has been aiding him in all his failure, but at times is seen helping to better Watashi. The Tatami Galaxy slowly introduces us to other characters such as Jogasaki, Hanuki, and the Fortune Teller.
好機というのは良い機会ということじゃ。
それは分かってます。
好機はいつでもあなたの目の前にぶら下がってございます。あなたはその好機を捉えて行動に出なくちゃいけません。
やけに漠然としてますね。もっと具体的に。
さもないと。あなたはまた今と変わらぬ人生を歩むことじゃろう。はい1000円。
まだ何も解決してないのに。
All the episodes follow a loop formula reminiscent of Warao Salesman, but much greater in its approach and delivery. At the beginning, some viewers might be turned off by its constant loop of similar events, but as you stick with it, you'll be able to realize how intricately detailed and entertaining each scene is. So why is the Tatami Galaxy almost perfect? The Tatami Galaxy gives you the art of storytelling, masterful dialogue, and incredible characters. All the characters are very interesting in their own way, all with depth that you can't seem to compare to one another. The art style, cinematography, and colors are all works of genius. You can't watch the Tatami Galaxy and not become immersed in the journey, immersed in its world. But above all, it's the meaning. What does the Tatami Galaxy mean or represent? On the surface, it's just a collection of different events that the protagonist experiences. Watashi feels as though he's wasted 2 years not actually living, wasting his time, unable to find his true identity. These are all feelings most people have felt, especially when you're becoming a young adult. This is extremely relatable to its audience, but is told with such great subtle humor. The Tatami Galaxy acknowledges the fact it's not a simple love story or a simple story, and who wants to watch that anyway? It doesn't insult its audience by constantly reminding them of what's happening so they understand. It moves at a pace that you'll need to adjust to. The protagonist has no name. Watashi translated actually means I or me. This could mean that Tatami Galaxy is us looking at ourselves. Each character can be a version we don't see or even refuse to acknowledge. When we laugh at a certain character, we're laughing at ourselves. Nothing is perfect, but this is really close, and that's why this scores such high ratings for me. Its characters and how they are used to move the story, its attention to detail, its storytelling, its meaning, its surreal art style and animation, its direction, its colors, music and framing. If you're into conventional, easygoing storytelling, then this might be a pass for you, and that's fine. But if you can enjoy a story that's not so straightforward and oftentimes abstract, then this is the anime for you. This can be compared to great works like Mononoke, but I personally resonated more with the Tatami Galaxy. Watashi can be seen to lose his mind. I can be seen to lose my mind. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest animes of all time, but after all, these are just views from a man in a 4.5 tatami room.
使っても表彰台に上りたい